It's game time here at Flashpoint 2 as we're turning up the heat in our first upper bracket semi-final. Or maybe we should say game time, as of course Virtus.pro will be taking to the stage, making it all the way through our Pinnacle Cup to qualify for this very tournament. They've been hungry to prove that they can hang with the best, but can they take down the giants of Big? Of course, joining me to answer these questions and many more, Maui and Potter. And Maui, you said this is going to be the most exciting game we have today. Why is that?
I think the clash of styles is perfect. I think that VP have that individual aggression, that flair to their style, that unpredictable CIS style ties, usually headed by Yakinder, but Buster gets in there as well. And Big, they're the tactical team. They lay everything out. They always come in with this set game plan, and it's going to be up to Virtus.pro to try to disrupt it.
Yeah, and of course, their last game, speaking of Virtus.pro, actually went down to the wire against Mad Lions, went to the full 3 maps and overtime in the final map of that series. So what were your guys' key takeaways from that performance?
You know, Virtus.pro, they tend to do this quite a bit. You know, they get into these really nitty-gritty matches, and you can see that the VP guys are always trying to play the most optimal Counter-Strike, the perfect Counter-Strike. That's where the whole Jame time meme comes from. But sometimes you gotta get dirty, sometimes you gotta get messy, and I'm looking straight at KiNK, man. This guy has multi-kills after multi-kills, highlight rounds after highlight rounds, but sometimes I do think he turtles up a little bit. He's waiting for his teammates to initiate things. Maybe he's waiting for the communications coming from Jame, but KiNK, you can absolutely see the mechanical skill that this guy just booms in that server. So today I'm looking at KiNK to kind of spice things up a little bit for VP.
And a player that you've been looking at a lot, Maui, is of course Yakinder as well. And he said on the podcast that you did with him that he hasn't really been feeling that same consistent form as of late. And we've kind of seen that over the majority of Flashpoint.
Yeah, in the last month, Yakinder has only a 1.01 rating, which I really didn't expect because he was absolutely lighting it up against CIS competition. So I'm going to be looking at Yakinder to step it up here. I think Jame has been performing incredibly well. KiNK on top of that, they've both been doing great jobs for this team, but Yakinder is really the X factor for me going into this series because he hasn't performed at that level that we've wanted. We've wanted that aggressive rifling style, and he takes those duels, but he's winning them less of the time than I really expected going into this tournament.
Yeah, and something else that he touched upon during your podcast as well was this Inferno as well, because we've seen it being a comfort pick for them. Then he was also saying in an interview that he hasn't felt that they felt that same comfort as of late. So do you think that's going to be coming out in this series?
I think that we will be seeing an Inferno pick, likely from the side of Virtus.pro. It'd be cool to see something different, to see if maybe they changed up their mentality, perhaps. But I think that against Big, this is too good of a pick. It's a map for Big that they've always been a little bit shaky on. They've taken some big scalps, but then they lose to some teams that they probably shouldn't be losing to. So it's kind of hit or miss for them. And for a team like Virtus.pro, they should have confidence going into it. Despite what Yakinder said, that they have been a little rocky, especially on that T side, I think they can bring together the game plan that they need to in order to try to take down a giant such as Big.
Yeah, speaking of the Big clan as well, let's shift our focus to some of their highlights over here at Flashpoint 2. And of course, we actually look at the most recent game they played against Envy. We were all predicting that was going to be a clean 2-0 coming into it. Potter, that did not play out how we expected one bit.
It didn't. And you know, Big, they were probably the biggest favorites, no pun intended, coming into this tournament. And they've had to get messy. They've had to work really hard, dig deep into their strat books to get these dubs on the board. But sometimes it be like that, Freya. It be like that. It doesn't matter. Searson, look at the clips that this guy is providing. Tizian, the support stud, coming out for Big, always there to anchor down the sites and provide that extra utility. And Xantares, man, he's just a weapon. Vertigo, this was such a crazy match for him. This was the map that MIBR looked like they were going to 2-0 Big coming out on. So once again, Big, they have to have these superstars shining, you know? I love the interview that Monty just had with Keto. Now we know he's back in Berlin. He's at the bootcamp offices, which is only going to bode well for Big, you know? Freya, we saw Keto as soon as he joined this Big lineup. He was that secondary offer. He brought so much impact and value. Lately, over the summer and over these last few months, he's been a little bit more quiet, and as it should be. You know, he's the entry. He has so many responsibilities and different roles, different looks for Big. But because Big are so solidified in their identity, I think it's time for Keto to really step up here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I want to touch upon one of the players that you were speaking about there in Xantares, because I know that you observed some interesting statistics from him over the course of Flashpoint 2 so far.
Yeah, Xantares right now actually has one of the least deaths per round of any player at this tournament. I think he's in the top 5 right now. And the fact that your second-in rifler, your lurk rifler, one of your star players is playing that well is really impressive. And it's not because he's just saving his gun all the time like an Opera would. He's actually getting in there, they're just finding the frags, and the round is over. So the fact that he's able to maintain his life, continue to bring that money, and allow him to buy more ops for Surson on top of that, as he is preserving that economy, it bodes very well for Big. I think another statistic that's also really been interesting to me is that when Big has been winning tournaments this year, they are always above 19% trade percentage. And at this tournament, they have a 19.9% trade percentage, and that bodes incredibly well for them, especially against a team like Virtus.pro, because VP is always trying to pick you apart. They're always trying to find those little frags and then back off of it. But if Big is trading those kills out, then VP's game plan is just in shambles at that point. If they're going for one all the time, it's Big who's going to be moving in numbers more often than not and able to clutch those late round situations out.
Well, let's see exactly how it's going to be playing out here in our first game of the series as we get into our all-important map, Vetoes. I know we were speculating exactly what is going to be coming out, so where are your guys' expectations lying for this one?
Let's got to start with the vetoes for VP on Nuke, and likely we'll see Big be vetoing out the train. Those have just been their perma vetoes. But the picks get a little bit interesting after that. So Big, of course, yeah, going for that veto. So Big's going to have the first pick here, and I feel like it should be a Mirage pick. But Potter, do you have any different thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I've been playing around with the idea of Vertigo potentially coming out, but you're right, Mirage, it should be Big's pick coming out. It's so weird because I was going through the motions of the possibilities and I thought Big, they could low-key just throw a curveball and pick Vertigo randomly just because VP's win percentage is kind of inflated. But the Mirage pick, it is coming out, and so that Infernal pick should be coming out here for VP.
Yeah, unless their confidence has changed, as Ykinder was talking about, we likely will be seeing that Inferno pick. And I just think it's a great pick against the Big clan. So we'll see if that's what they choose. But, actually, they go with Vertigo. That is really interesting. VP does have a very high win rate on Vertigo lately. But like Potter said, it's against some weaker competition. So I'm not sure if that actually means they're battle-tested against a team such as Big. And I'm actually really surprised for that. That makes me believe, though, that Virtus.pro thinks they're an underdog in this one just a little bit. The fact that they're the ones throwing the curveball in this matchup.
Yeah, and man, VP, I like this idea though. I like the idea behind it. I just hope that they haven't gotten a little too ahead of themselves here, because as you mentioned, those inflated win percentage numbers, Big only have a 33% win rate on Vertigo, but that also is inflated, but in the other direction, because Big's competition, it's been the heroics, the complexities, the G2s. So those matches going into OTs, having 16-14s, Big, they are absolutely practiced on this Vertigo. So I love this curveball coming out into this series right off the bat.
Yeah, and for the decider here, I feel like it can go a lot of directions.
Yeah.
I think Big should veto out Inferno now, because I think they're actually wiping their brow knowing that that won't be played. Okay, so they do ban it out, and this is interesting as well because VP have been first picking Dust 2 a lot against CIS teams, but I think there's a chance for Overpass here too. They might sense a little bit of weakness on the side of Big, because Big only have a 50% win rate on Overpass for the last few months. So this is a possibility, and they do go for that. So this feels like VP is actually tailoring their picks to the opposing team. And I actually really like that, because usually teams just say, we're going to play our game, we're just going to do what we're comfortable with. And I kind of hate that, honestly. I really end up seeing that a lot, and it's just like, but that's their second best map. So I'm kind of questioning it. But VP actually made a veto here for themselves that actually goes against Big's strengths even more. So I actually think VP have done a really good job with this veto.
Yeah, and of course we will be starting off on the comfort pick of Big going into that Mirage, as you expected there, Maui. So what kind of things should we be seeing from the side coming into this?
I think Big's game plan into this is probably going to be targeting that B-bomb side a lot. When FaZe first introduced B-Mass into that roster, Big said, okay, we're going to test you, young blood, and they just went B probably 10 times in that match. So they were really trying to flesh him out or test him out, and Sanji will be the guy on that B side. I'm really interested to see if Big is able to capitalize, because Sanji, he's playing with an MP9 half the time because he's dropping Jame all these ops. So if they've tailored their strategy correctly, I think Big should be heading to that B side a ton.
Well, we can see exactly what our statistics are saying for both CT and T sides coming into this map. Are there any interesting comparisons for you, Potter, just looking at some of these numbers?
It's, you know, I think it's as it should be. You know, Mirage, it's such a 50-50.
Yeah.
For Big, though, you know, I think their T side, they have such a strong T side, and it's a little bit to Maui's point about their B hitting. Tizian, dude, he's such a stud over those B tunnels. He just knows exactly the pace that he wants to do, the amount of pressure that Sanji is going to be under. Man, Big's default, it's so strong on Mirage.
That trade percentage from Big is crazy on their T side compared to VPs, because VP, they spread out a little bit more. Sometimes they try to go for some misdirection. They'll sack a player on one of their strats just to try to open up a different side of the map. But Big, they work as a pack. That's why their trade percentage is so high at 20%.
Well, I think with that, we can begin to take a look at our predictions for this first game of the day. And I think we have to take a little bit of a recap of our leaderboard before we do that, as much as it pains me to say, because I am right down there at the bottom of the barrel. It ain't it. It ain't it. I'm so screwed. I was saying to Potter beforehand, I need to make like a big dick bet on something. When there's a huge underdog, I need to go for it. But you guys, around the middle there is really not much separating you guys.
What I learned last week, Freya, is if you just play it safe, somebody somewhere will fuck up along the way, and you will pass them eventually. So
tell them my
worry.
strategies.
Yeah, don't worry yet, Freya. We still got 2 days ahead of us. I'm sure that Maui here will F it all up for us.
Yes.
I play it safe. I play the safe game. I'm in third right now. I can relax a little bit. So.
Well, let's have a look at what odds we were betting on last night. Of course, we can bring these up for the first game of the day. It was 2.01 for the side of VP versus 1.81 for the side of Big. I think that is fair enough. We're saying it's going to be a very, very close game. But just looking at the history of some of these teams, of course, Big ranked 5th in the world at the moment, VP ranked 15th. Pretty fair odds, I think I'd say.
Yeah, it's actually, compared to those rankings, actually, I think it's closer. It looks like a coin flip on the odds.
Yeah.
So I think the veto, though, actually maybe even slightly tips this into VP's favor, because they're shown that they're coming in with a really strong game plan.
Yeah, potentially. I think with that we can bring in our casters as well and see exactly what they're predicting for this series. It's going to be Semler and Anders joining us.
Yeah.
How are you gentlemen doing?
So, as I was just telling Anders, Searson is an absolute savage. Looking at his stats right now, going into this series, dude, he is going to be the man to watch.
Yeah, out-opening James perhaps, could be.
Yeah, I mean, James is the only guy in the green right now for Virtus.pro when it comes to KD difference. So, you know, if James isn't popping off, Virtus.pro are going to get, you know, Big are going to have a nice new rug for the living room.
It could well be.
It's going to happen.
We both picked the same, 500, 500. Everyone's gone for Big.
Everybody's gone for Big so far. Maui, I'm disappointed in you, man. You are hyping up VP over here. What's this, 310 on Big? Why?
I just think this matchup is really unfavorable for VP. But now I kind of wish I could switch it now that I saw the veto.
Yeah, Maui, Yukinder needs your energy, dude. What happened?
Yukinder does, and he's my child. I love this man, but this boy. But
oh boy.
We'll move off of boy love here. Actually, I think I dug myself into a hole. I gotta get off
Let's
this.
shift our attention now to the fact
Careful,
that nobody's
I
gone
thought I
with
heard
VP.
Scoots' voice there for a second.
God.
Okay. Jeez. Whoa.
No one's gone with
Oh,
VP.
no.
Let's move it on to that. Are you surprised that nobody's siding with Virtus.pro for this one? I am.
Yeah, this is odd. I figured there would be at least a couple shouts for VP here, because you would think that the veto going into this would have just been pretty much coin flips the whole way.
Yeah.
So
Did somebody strategize and they don't want the points, like the leaderboards shifting, so they've
They
all just
must
kind
have.
of
That's
whispered
exactly
the
what I did.
bets?
You guys, what are you guys doing, man?
Anders.
What are you guys doing? I'm down there with Thorin. We are not making it out if you guys are going to continue like this.
That's the whole point, isn't it? Like, you have to, obviously, you have to think about who's going to be winning, but at some point you have to think about what's everyone else going to be betting, because if we all just keep losing points and you can just stay at the top, then...
But the
That's
problem with
great.
that strategy is now, it's not just one person doing the forfeit. It's 6 of us. 6 of us have got to do it. So you guys, we've got to be stepping up our games. And with that, I think we can begin to get into our first game of the day. Semler and Anders, take it away as we head into match number 1.
Well, I mean, I'm happy if things just stay the way that they are. Like, I'm just there, like, in 3rd or 4th or something like that. So I think it's all right. Like, I just want to keep betting with everyone else. Hope that no one upsets it. So far, so good. I mean, yeah, there's going to be slightly different winnings on Big, but it seems like everyone went for them.
Maui and Powder have got the right idea, you know? You just play it safe and let the others take the risks, and
True.
slowly but surely you'll wind up on top.
It is definitely true. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Virtus.pro and Big in a best of 3 here at Flashpoint. Virtus.pro starting on the CT side of Mirage and Big on the T side. And I don't know. Both these games today, I feel really not that confident in my picks. What a way to get started. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And now we are off. It's Sanji hiding in the corner and James coming in for another headshot. The two of them combining for 4 kills, and they have shut down Big in this pistol round. All of that was really wonderful.
Utterly denied, utterly annihilated. And well, that's a pistol round for you there, where it just doesn't go at all your way for Big. They were ready for him, Virtus.pro, and so Big have just kind of got to chuck that round. Chuck that round away, not worry about it, not dwell on it too much. It was way too one-sided.
Look,
you kind of just write it off.
Those were some incredible shots from James. That looked very, very smooth. All right. Well, there's one thing I think that's not going to happen. It's not going to be a boring game, this one, and the next one definitely won't be either. So I'm excited about that. I think we're going to see some cool Counter-Strike coming out here. As you mentioned earlier, Searson definitely a real force to be reckoned with when it comes to the AWP, but James absolutely is as well, and it'll be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Bomb is at top mid, and the Deagles have done nothing so far.
This is super cool, though. This is similar to what we were seeing from Dignitas yesterday, actually, Anders. I mean, in the sense that Virtus.pro are just charging at Big right now. First 2 rounds, taking fights, being bold, not letting Big get comfortable, not letting Big exert that confidence, or develop that confidence for themselves, knowing that they are the favorite in the match. Virtus.pro are the ones who are just making some plays. Tejada putting up a fight. At least he's able to finally get the first kill so far this map for Big.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I like that Virtus.pro are playing this aggressively right out the gates.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not getting sniped away from the Deagles either. They were just so ready for it. Buster is going to be in position, so they will only lose Sanji, which is just fine. Third round, no bomb plant in either of the first 2 rounds, so they're going to have to relax a little bit here, cool it down. And we'll see what they can get up to getting into the, not so much this next run. This is going to be a little bit of a slaughter coming up shortly.
Yeah, I mean, single flash, I just imagine. Let's see a waterfall onto A. It's not going to happen, unfortunately. Actually, maybe that's due to spawn. But kind of similar to like what you see on B site on Train, right? Where T side you can just run and just try and stick the bomb plant. Okay.
They're just messing around.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no... At least as far as I know, unless we were about to see something crazy for the first time
No,
there.
there is not.
But, you can go for like the waterfall out of Palace onto A. That can work, but it's looking like Big right now are just going to get murdered in mid.
I feel like he's supposed to peak maybe slightly after. They do have Deagles, more than I thought, so regardless, Tizian takes a bullet to the face and he's out of it. Now they're all in the middle, and VP probably don't really care.
Actually, now that you point that out, 3 Deagles. That's kind of a waste. For what's a hard eco round like this, where you are 99.999%, just going to get murked. Getting Deagles, I mean, this is a Deagle now is like almost a full set of nades in the next round, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure I fully agree with it either, but I mean, it seems like they'll be all right. Wasn't as bad as I was, making it up to be in my mind. Searson's got that AWP and not much else. No head armor either, which is again, playing on the T side, especially against the weapons that they are right now. It could be a little bit annoying. But the first real shot for Big to do some damage in this one and see if they can start to step it up here. So let's just see what they bring into this one. Kinder, nice movement. I think he did get spotted. Yep, he's going to dart right back. But they do have a pretty good presence here at middle and Catwalk. So Tizian, I don't know. I mean, if he can get a kill here, he's probably going to pull that mid defense back. But he's just playing for effect here. He's just trying to be annoying and trying to, cause a little bit.
Trying to focus this defense over towards the B site. And look at this. I mean, there's 4 players on this side of the map right now for Virtus.pro. KiNK is alone on A right now. It seems like Big aren't going to be able to take advantage of this. Not for the moment. They are going to be just slow playing it, hoping that somebody on VP is going to walk into their crosshairs. That's the name of the game here for Big. Although, as I say that, I mean, Xantares and Udoh now starting to at least trade places. It's still just this waiting game. 58 seconds, and Virtus.pro are going to start getting to the point now where they want to move around on the map for information. And so Big, it turns into this game of chicken. Who's going to flinch first?
I mean, eventually Big will have to, right? Clock, after all, is running against them. So, deep smoke going down there towards the top of connector, and no reaction just yet. Yukinda's moving into a position where maybe he could do something here. They're going to go check it. They nearly line up. That could have been a beautiful double kill, but yeah, now it's go time. Udoh picking up Kick It in the meantime, and Searson just catching James. It's a disaster for the B bomb site. 25 seconds, and Buster is back here, but he's already been spotted, and they're going to take them all down. They didn't even need the bomb plant. Oh, those are some really, really big wins. Although VP also, they didn't have that great weaponry to fight some of those fights with, so they're going to have that next round.
They're going to have that now. A big buy round coming up for VP. But, man, big. They won every duel, and they made it look easy. They were ready the entire time. Look at that. Searson ready at window. And, I mean, even with the 2 players on B site, you're thinking some damage could get done? Not at all. Very well handled there by Big. When they got their first buy round, man, that was clean.
They did, by the way, also walk into the most stacked part of the map, didn't they?
It was like nuked everybody. Yeah. That's going to be a little demoralizing for Virtus.pro. If you're, if in real terms, that was a buy round, you're both fully bought up, and you just got wiped out completely, even with everything going your way, in terms of positioning, yeah.
Definitely got to be thinking that you could have had much more of an impact there. All right, Bomb is still pretty far back. Searson is going to lose a fight to James. Oh, and the follow-up, James. He's come to play. The pistol round, and now these 2 shots. That is beautiful. Tabson going to be forced back, and I don't know, this is a real struggle. If they lose this round big, especially without doing any damage, that is going to be a disaster.
Really nice support from that short position here.
Oh, if it went deeper, that grenade.
What's the name of the game, though? That's a smoke that's thrown by Xanterra's walk-off connector, and yeah, that was going to be the play. Buster catches Tizian, weird smoke. There's just an angle there, one way. And well, now, I mean, they're getting whittled down one after the other here, Big, hoping to catch somebody again. Taps, and oh, that gives it away. Still wins the duel, gets the headshot on Yukinder. Buster, however, could very well drop the bomb, and that'll end this round right here.
I mean, it should be almost a done round already. It's 25 seconds. Yeah, I'm glad that Buster isn't going too much for the repeak, because why give yourself up? Molotov in the corner would be really painful to kick it. He'd probably die before he could even do anything, but so far they've thrown no grenades his way. James is going to miss a shot, but a lineup for Kick It is there. So he's going to get that running for the AWP, and he will successfully claim it. That's all good. I mean, yeah, they maybe lost one player more than they needed to there. But Big did not get the bomb plant, and VP right back in the mix. They're looking good, especially those shots from James were lightning fast.
Oh. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
James, highest rated player for VP going into this. Only guy in the green right now in kill difference for VP. So he is going to be the driving force behind this team, getting it in.
If he's going to be playing like that especially, I mean, what a real delight. That could be a really fun game. Tizian charging in with the Mach 10 early on here. Tries to make a jump for it, but he will get caught mid-air. Sanji getting one Buster now with a follow-up double kill, and that will shut out the whole offense here. Nothing much that they could do. Searson is going to get a kill. Actually gets another headshot. That's pretty impressive. But no bomb plant once again, and losing 2, I don't think that's so bad actually for VP. They're still building that economy.
Yeah, not at all. That was excellent. And that was a fully orchestrated rush coming in from Big. You saw it. All the nades thought out. They had the flashes, they had the mollies, they had everything. And VP, they only lose 2 players to that intense pressure. Really well handled by Virtus.pro. And so Big now are going to really start feeling the heat. They are going to have this buy round coming up now. Despite the lack of a bomb plant, they still have enough for the rifles. They will get Searson that AWP. And now, okay, again, another change of strategy. Wow, so aggressive.
Yeah, I think...
yeah. He saw Tizian. He realized.
Doesn't even matter, does it? Instantly taking him down. And could have been a big shot there. But instead, Yukinder goes down. Doesn't seem like it's really going to matter that much here. Kick It playing a bit of a game, and Sanji showing up to help him out. Great communication and great shots ringing out right now for VP. They are playing an incredible game at the moment. That trick in the middle that Yukinder uses with the Orc,
yeah,
people will have to start countering that fairly soon, because we've seen it abused a couple of times already in Flashpoint.
Yeah, definitely. From Virtus.pro, you know, I've gotten to cast these guys a few times now, and it really feels like a go-to strategy. Get that smoke down and then play right on the edge of it, and it is pretty much a one-way. We've seen it from both perspectives now, where Yukinder, he can clearly see people at the top of mid, but if you're at the top of mid looking towards that smoke, you don't see him. And so you're going to have to start just throwing HEs in there. You're going to have to start spraying it. You can't just assume that that's a faulty smoke anymore. You have to put some damage through it and force Yukinder to play a little bit more honest.
I really love the aggressive nature of how James has come into this game, because we do have a whole like meme universe around James, obviously, for you know.
What, you mean you haven't invested your skins in Jame Bank?
Listen, I would now if this is the return we're gonna get. I'm ready. But I mean, there are some games where you see sort of, you know, I would say a more passive version of Jame. But this style is amazing, and it's so hard right now for Big to do anything about. You can clearly tell that push into underpass and just taking now, because I'm pretty sure that Tizian heard the scope from Jame. That's why he came back to look down there, and he was like, okay, I'll jump up, and like, you know, James is like, I don't care, I'm so fast. You can do whatever you want up there. I'm gonna catch you. Yeah. This is... Whoop.
They're just getting
Sweet.
round after round.
Real sweet.
Right now, you got to feel so frustrated if you're Big. They're not getting any chance for some duels. You are just getting battered every time. We will get this tactical timeout being used here by Big. Good bit of chatting going on from Tabson as well right now. But, I mean, all right, so Searson succeeded in saving the AWP. We will have enough money for a buy round here from Big. I mean, barely.
Yeah. Especially behind the AWP, right? It's tempting to do that. You don't want to let them get away with a bunch of rounds here where they don't lose anyone. So I expect they're going to put on some pressure. It's real tricky. I mean, what you'd be tempted to do is try and figure out a way to avoid Jame if he's going to be playing this well. I'm sure Searson will want to take the fight to him, but Mirage isn't a map where you can't just know where that AWP is going to be, right? He could be playing, he could be swip, he could be either bomb side or middle. Like, he could go wherever he wants, basically. And so it might be hard to take that strategy into any given round here and try and make that work. And it's also always risky when you end up playing, you know, to what your opponent is doing. Like, then you're not playing your own game, but you're sort of trying to adjust in the moment to whatever is coming at you. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of expecting for Big to be well enough prepared that they have, you know, a pretty long list of things that they want to try and go through here. But it's rough because they haven't established, you know, much of it yet. Like, most of the things that they've been trying, you know, when you get picked off early on by the enemy AWP, you know, that strategy, you don't even really know if it would have worked or not, because you're dead before you even get into it. All right, Deagles to follow it up, so not actually going for the AK and the Gillials that they could have had. Fair play. Ooh. All right. Just in a lake of fire, wasn't he?
VP are just, they really are trying to get the maximum punish. Oh, nice try, Searson. Wow, Searson really trying to make this all work. But VP, you saw the aggression coming in from Yakinder and Kickert there towards A ramp. So if Big, we're going to go for a default, they execute, right? Like, oh, we're just going to have a default round, guys, and then we'll reset with the rifles or whatever. VP were in position to just punish and wreck that immediately, right off the bat, to put pressure on it. And so... VP are being very proactive right now, which is a real pleasure to see. They're looking so good. They're confident, they're taking duels, and they're looking to try and destabilize Big's game. And this is Big's map pick. It's worth pointing out. So if you take Big here and you're Virtus.pro and you're going into Vertigo next, I mean, that's a winning solution. That's a winning situation.
That would be a great way to get started in the best of 3. Smoke off there to try and make James' life a little bit more tricky. If they can go quick towards this catwalk and just collapse on the site, that actually is the best option right now for what VP's defense is looking like. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it. A little bit of a boost up here. That's a cool way to offset the angles. Very hard to read if you're inside of the B-bomb site. They have the whole setup, but they need to go right now before more backup is going to be showing. Already third man in the bomb site. 20 seconds left. Sanji with a bit of a spray taking down Tizian. Buster nearly following it up. He's going to be able to, and he almost gets flanked, but the backup is here, and that's the bomb on the ground, and there's not going to be anything that Kido could do about it. Even if he gets 2 kills, it won't matter. So yeah, save the AWP if you can. That is, I mean, that's not that far from actually working out for Big, but I think they were about 7 seconds too late on that execute. A third man showed up, and that was just enough to hold them back.
This is the best case scenario, though, for Big. Saving that AWP at least means you pass that over. Searson can drop you an AK, and you're actually still going to just have a full buy. So rinse, repeat. Round didn't work out for you that time. Big, it's still only 7-1. We're still early days here in this half. It's been a very one-sided affair for Virtus.pro so far. But this isn't a one half for VP just yet. There's still plenty of opportunity here for Big to come back into it. And so now is the time. Flashes over the top. Searson just charging straight in. And man, Jame was ready for him. Jame was holding against this short push. That is crazy.
Oh, and then Molotov, I mean, That was an opportunity for a kill. That needed to work out. Buster and KiNK will take 2 in return, and the rest of the push is getting absolutely collapsed, trying to get into the A-bomb site. Yekindar down here. A little bit of an awkward fight against Tizian. He's not going to win it either, but it won't matter in the end here. Tizian so low on health already. They know where he is. He can't escape this position. In fact, you could see from James using the pistol that it's already been called in. Yekindar would have made that call instantly, saying he's very low. Just, you know, go get him. No problems at all. Yeah, so James probably should have had that kill against Searson. As you said, he was in position, but Searson should have had the follow-up once they forced him out of the Molotov. Yes. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things that went south there. The main part of the push, though, when the fight was happening in middle, just did not work out. Yeah, this hold here is everything.
They're so ready for him. Everywhere right now. VP at all points were ready for that push from Big and for the response as well. So sick. Oh, now Yekindar is going to be looking. Now we've got James in window. You were right to point that out, Anders. I mean, it is really perfect here from James. He has got so much so much freedom on this map right now. He's playing a different position every round. Big have no idea where this guy's going to be set up. It is not like a turret style of opping that we're getting from James at all.
No, it's really cool. And you see him and Yekindar in there. So Yekindar just puts out the Molotov behind him so he can stick around and play for James as well. So the two of them have got some good intuition about how to do that. Because if Yekindar just falls back, you know, James sort of has to fall back as well almost. Oh, caught mid-air. I'm going to need to see that from Searson's point of view. The bomb is going to go down, and I don't know. Oh, he's going to catch him just as he's picking up the rifle. If it had been Searson and Santaris left 2-on-3, could have been really fun. Now, Searson is in a lot of trouble here. He's got not much to work with. No armor, no grenades, only really the element that surprised. If he can sneak all the way through, did make some noise, but they were too far away. Now he's walking up behind them. They will have put on a smoke on that bomb, and they're going to try and tap it and see where he is. He's got the right idea, but again, the lack of armor. It's a headshot, but even if not, I mean, just the time that it takes for him to get all those kills probably would have been the end. So it's a nice idea. It's a cool attempt, I think, but it does not change the fact that it's 9-1 in favor of VP. Oh, wait, what? He's jumping too? Shorty.
The timing.
Get the fuck out.
What is that?
They were both jumping.
And the Deagle wins.
Well then.
Yeah, well then is right, Anders.
They were...
Listen, sometimes, you know, just lady luck. She's going to be on your side.
That is a ridiculous lottery to play in, isn't it?
Is it just me or is that... I mean, no, that can't be right. That's the first bomb plant for Big. I can't remember the last time.
Close to, I think.
I can't remember the last time.
They haven't had many, that's for sure.
This has been just a completely worthless first half for Big so far. 1 round on the board. It's 9-1 in favor of Virtus.pro on the CT side.
Look at James and KiNK again with a forward setup over towards the ramp. Just super unpredictable, right? Every single round it's a little bit different. Not so much in middle and connector this time, but now, you know, I'm just waiting for the B hallways push to slightly kick in. I mean, that would be the next step, wouldn't it, to put James over in those B hallways and just have him have that deep ankle. Maybe even push up with whoever is playing over there with him. I guess that would be Sanji or Buster maybe, but yeah.
It's like they have a checklist.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Just keep going down the checklist. One spot after another. And right now, Big, I mean, this is forcing Big to have to worry about all of these angles. They have to commit so much time to clearing out all these spots, and now they're just waiting here, hoping that somebody from VP is going to drop in, and of course, Yekindar. Not only does he drop in, he gets the kill on Udoh, who was waiting so patiently the entire time, and now Yekindar can get out of here. He still hangs around, so he's still trying to make plays and be a little greedy. That's going to end up costing him. I love how Sanji doesn't even show himself. He doesn't even pull the trigger, Anders.
Oh, man.
20 seconds left, and actually Big are going to try and make a sprint over here towards B, and Buster, I'm pretty sure he just spotted Searson. All Buster's going to do now is going to call for the rotation from his teammate. Oh, through the box! Tejada going to find Sanji, but that's it. Now he's going to get caught in a sandwich. He has to find the kill on Buster in a moment here, or he is going to get flanked. Buster's playing this so well. He's just waiting for the cavalry to arrive. They've got all the time in the world to make this retake happen. Why does he peek?
Yeah, a little bit early on that one. Going to go for the fight. And, I mean, that did give an opportunity for Tizian to at least try it. But they're going to be on the defuse again. 10-1. And, yeah, they lost a couple of more people here in this round, and that's a bit annoying. But given the money that they have, don't think they really care at this point.
Surprising. coming from 3 angles as well. I mean, Buster dying there turns that into a totally winnable situation for Big. They could have gotten that. That was a clutch that was definitely possible. And so now, well, it doesn't go the way of Big. They are just getting battered right now. Buster, that is a sick one. What, did he punch him too hard? Oh, sorry, dude.
Listen, surely they're going to be frustrated. Technically, if they win the next 4 rounds in a row here, then, you know, it's all back in action. Jame catching that one. He was flashed, though. So Searson probably thought, all right, with the smoke of the flash going over the wall, it's going to be enough. I can make this cross, and it would have been fun to see where he would have gone with it, if he would have gone into the ladder room or all the way in towards the B-bomb site that early on.
Let's see. I want to see it from James' perspective. If we have it, that's going to be sick. Because he's blind. He's blind. So is it just pure timing at this point?
I'm guessing he's so far back that he wouldn't have been like fully, you know, just completely blind. Just could have just been like a quick little like, because he was really far back. Smoke up, kick it, playing close. Tabson's going to be going down. Keto next in line. Yakinda having himself a great game. He's 12-6. Jame is 12-3, and Buster is 10-3. They're just all playing well. Sanji's up there as well. No one is doing badly. Big are getting absolutely destroyed on this map.
Xantares has got 3 kills. Searson's got 5. Those are the 2 highest rated players for Big, and they're both low single digits. That's not good. Well, I mean, none of this, nothing is good here for Big on this first half. 11-1 in favor of VP, and just saw. Oh, so he saw him before the flash, at least.
Well, 13th round, and I don't know. I mean, wasn't expecting this. I don't think many people were looking at the odds. I mean, it was a bit of a coin flip on the odds, to be perfectly fair, right?
Yeah, and on the performance, if you look at the stats, actually, I mean, VP have worse stats across the board than Big in terms of individual performance coming into this. There's only Jame who's in the green and KD. They are around the 1s, but in terms of rating, but Big, they have every advantage coming into this on an individual level, right? So if you're looking at the odds, it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna favor Big. Just makes sense to favor Big in this sort of scenario.
Here we go. Rush into the B-bomb site. Set up with a couple of grenades. Sanji will find the first kill. Tizian wrapping around with a MAC-10. It is a really mobile gun, so yeah, he's going to be able to get a double kill. They don't have a lot to work with here. They need this round. Keto trying to find a weapon, but he's going to go down. So it's back into a 3-on-3. And the last flashbang used there. Jame doesn't really care about it. He's actually got some backup here. Still, Tizian doing a lot of work. He's done so much damage and really able to get a 3rd one in there before he finally goes down. So now it's up to Tabson and Searson. That bomb, not that far ticked yet. There are a lot of smokes and grenades here for VP. See if they get any of them out. It's going to be one. Tabson blind shot through the smoke, but he goes down right afterwards. So now it's up to Searson. 1 versus 2. They line up inside of the smoke even. And he's going to get that one. And finally another round on the board. A 2nd one. And I mean, they need the next 2 badly, don't they?
They do. They need everything left here in the first half. But of course, VP are going to have plenty of money for the buy round, so it's going to be a fully equipped Virtus.pro through and through. And yeah, this is such a sick wrap from Tizian. So fast with the MAC-10. Nicely done. Well done on Big. They finally break the streak after, what, 8 rounds in a row for Virtus.pro.
Yes.
Big get a 2nd round on the board. Oh, and it's looking like trying to make up their mind. They had a bit of a rumpus at top mid there, Big, for a second. But now, clearing out B halls could be setting themselves up to try and poke and prod over here. This time it's going to be a Palace focus from VP. Kickert's all the way up there, just waiting.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to return to the B-bomb site here on the Big side. So Sanji and Jame are inside of it. See, it's going to be hard for James to land a lot of shots here. He's instantly going to try and fall back. Sanji actually picking up that one. And the gap between the first man in for Big and the follow-up is so wide that James is just saying, all right, I'm just going to come back and start sniping. Molotov put out, even though it took a little bit of time there. And yeah, they're getting slowed down so much here from Big. I feel like it's fine to have some spacing. They're still going to win some of the follow-up fights, but they really shouldn't be. Santaris and Tabson here, 2-on-3, and nice angle from Yakinda. Santaris never going to be able to see that. And Tabson, 1 versus 3. Bomb is up in the hallway, so, ooh, that's a bit of a flick. Taking down Yakinda, taking down Buster, and now KiNK. He's also in the market. He's got this line-up. tabseN spraying, but he can't get the last one in there. And Virtus.pro, that's all they let them have. 1 round.
Dude, what? Can we see that tabseN flick again? What the hell?
I don't know, that looked disgusting, didn't it?
What the hell was that? Dude, he just whips on him. Was there an audio cue that we didn't hear? I guess he must have heard a footstep. But what? Dude, it's just instant. He's dead on him.
It's your own dude.
Whoa, man, tabseN.
I'm so confused about Big. You know, I think it was Tizian in first. So from Tizian going down to the follow-up was such a long time. That can be... I don't know, that can definitely backfire on you. As you can tell, they did get slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
Well, 12 and 2.
We're seeing some issues with the spacing on Big for sure. But yeah, now 12 to 2, 10-round lead for VP. On the CT side, it's just... That's a monstrous first half. And they've just been... This is pretty much like, what, the first default round that we're getting out of VP in what feels like forever? You know, not aggressive towards ramp, not aggressive towards Palace, just a single body in mid, keeping an eye on things. 2-1-2.
Yeah, they are being a little bit more laid back here. I'm still kind of shocked that they haven't really gone like... I mean, apart from top mid, right? I haven't seen the B hole or something. But I mean, it's all been working, right? They've just been showing up for some fights in middle a lot of the time and winning those. And then James is going to hear that stepping, and he's ready for it. Could have been maybe a timing there where they could have swung on him. Tizian over at the B-bomb side, though. He's going to win that first fight. Could he get the second one? Sanji's going to have a much better angle against him. The bomb is in the A-bomb side regardless, so... I don't know, trying to see if he could do something there, tabseN, but now it's on the ground instead. And this is so... Would have been an absolutely brutal first half here for Virtus.pro. 13 and 2 is going to be the end of it with just a... I mean, this is a slaughter beyond what anyone could have really imagined. What an incredible game from VP. What a way to start off here. Big are going to have to dig deep to find some way to recover from this madness. They will have maybe a little bit of a shot at it in the second half. It's going to be coming up after the break, so stay tuned.
Tonight on Flashpoint.
The New York Times says it's so unbelievable, it's now believable. Come on down to the Blind Spot and get 15% off new and used cars. Warning, blind spot may cause side effects including drowsiness, headaches, nausea, rashy skin, anal leakage, and an overwhelming sense of joy.
Can't state the crime, came through with the woo, slid off on the DL. I'm low key like seashells, I rock these bells. Now come aboard, it's Medina bound into the chamber. And it's a whole different sound, it's a wide entrance. Small exit like a funnel, so deep it's picked up on radios and tunnels. Niggas are fascinated how the shit begin. Get vaccinated, my logo is branded in your skin with the MC's cane. To live out the names, and to perform some had. The snort cocaine with the act the same. Before he rocked it on, now on the the flames. Spark the brain in the building to be born. Yo, it's a fucking track, the fucking is the void.
Welcome back. It's a ridiculous way to get back into it, isn't it? It was like 10 minutes ago that we started this map here on Mirage, and now it's 13-2 in favor of Virtus.pro, and they are wrecking big to a degree that not many people would have really imagined. But yet here we are.
Here we are, Anders. Every now and again we get a performance like this from one team over another, and it just shows the firepower and the confidence on VP's side of the map right now. They're even in firepower. It's VP, however, who are just wholly confident going into this match. They have got Big figured out. And I'm wondering if it's fatigue on Big's side. They've been going non-stop for a good long while now, and I think they're just playing in everything that they can. And so I'm wondering if it isn't just, you know, Big kind of getting figured out and worn out. Sorry?
Shouldn't that just mean they're like super warmed up, like they're always ready?
Dude, day in, day out, you just do, you know, the online CS, after a year of online CS like this, the relentless grind.
I'm not accepting it.
Okay, all right.
Playing a $1 million tournament.
Yeah, exactly. So why are you bothering playing in a German tournament is what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's probably true. Xantares waiting for the flashbangs, but he's a little bit hesitant to peek against them. They're all there. The entire VP army coming for them. Bit of a grenade. It doesn't actually tag everyone, although they are getting slowed down and damaged now. Stumbling, trying to get into the B bomb site. Sanji will still pick up a kill, and I can't believe he's still alive in here. He's been standing in the middle of the bomb site for a couple of seconds now. Usually that'll get you killed pretty quickly. Now it's a 3-on-4, and the bomb is not being planted yet, but they don't really need to. They're just winning these fights left and right. Kido trying to get back into it, but now it's on Searson. 1 versus 2. Knows where they are as well. But bomb is in the middle of it, so he could just try and wait for them to try and pick it up. They've already done that. Good headshot. And now 1-on-1. Searson's got the health advantage and the weapon advantage as well. But Kickard, yeah, he's going to try and go for it. Already tagged up, and Searson will take him down. Big winning a 3rd round.
Very nicely done on Searson, keeping his cool like that. VP in these kind of clutch situations, it gets a little dicey. It gets a little dicey where maybe some miscommunication there between the two players, trying to peek him at the same time, and then one of them still being in the open when the bomb gets planted. So it's a 1-on-1, right? It's the best case scenario for Searson in that sort of scenario, you know, with how that plays out. So interesting how that goes, but Big withstanding the pressure, picking up the pistol in the second half. Good on them. Yeah, there you go. Listen, this is a game of Counter-Strike, and at this level, anything is possible, Anders. Big are absolutely capable of running it all the way back. Not even gonna lie.
I would love for nothing more to happen. That would be really exciting. But I think a secondary goal, again, we always bring this up, but it's just to, you know, get everyone warmed up for the second map. So winning the pistol round, yeah, it's still super relevant. Try and get as much as you can on the board, and also, you know, make VP cool down a little bit. Make sure James isn't playing to this incredible level. That's going to help out a lot. Bomb being brought back towards the A bomb site, and Tabson is down. Oh no. That's Buster, already low on health before he started that fight, and takes him right out. Xantares is next. This is shaping up to be a real disaster, isn't it?
Dude, Xantares has got 5 kills. Alright, Tejada is finally going to put an end to James' shenanigans in mid. So we're getting rid of that guy, and Tejada, aware that the flank could be coming through, going to set a trap with that smoke, but the bomb is rotating over towards A. It's looking like VP are going to get a crunch going here on the A site in a moment. Yakinder is still alive in Palace, waiting for the push.
Well, look at who's moving up out of the B hallways right now. Tizian is on a bit of an adventure, so I mean, they'll have some advanced warning. Those two people in the A bomb site should know that something is coming. The problem is Kido's so low on health that he can't take any kind of a sustained fight against anyone. So the flank is cool. Oh, Searson, that's a nice way to open it up. Almost going to get crouched in on there. Kido with the follow-up. That's all he needs to do. That one kill is enough. And Tizian going through the middle. So this is what, a 4-on-3 that they managed to turn into a victory after having nearly thrown the round away there. That is actually not that bad of a recovery from Big. And also taking, the initiative to push out of the B bomb site to find the information is critical.
Yeah, still, they are going to spend all of their money this round, and this is going to be a full buy coming in from VP, essentially. They will have the Mac 10 on Sanji. It looks like he's going to be the one who's going to squeak, but the others will have some nades. No smoke picked up by Kicker and HE instead. Interesting. But now it is going to be buy versus buy, and a straight-up approach here from Virtus.pro, charging straight out onto the A site. Monster nade. Yes, Yakinder eats most of that magic apple. Kido going to go ahead and hold the line first, and he gets 2 kills with the help of his teammates. Tabson with the monster flash going over the top. And the defense holds perfectly here for Big. What wonderful work.
What? He just aced them. Oh my god. 3 of them with an MP9, 2 of them with the USP. I can't even fathom how you do that much damage. Yeah, the flashbangs were definitely great, but he should have been dead 10 times over in this. It's so absurd.
That's how you double your kills in a single round.
Wow. Oh, that last shot, what a way to end it as well. All right, and Ace, if you were going to make a comeback, that's a good way to do it. Get fired up, get hyped up. Now, they had rifles as well. You shut them all down. 13-5. Let's see. One damn MP9 in the most common position of all time on the A bomb side, right? So there is really no element of surprise or anything else, but it just worked.
Yeah, VP tried to really pull a fast one there. That HE stunning and slowing them all down as well. The Kinder getting softened up. I mean, just the nade usage there. Kinder taking his time, going to go ahead and assassinate Searson. Easy peasy.
Yeah, Jame had already called it in. And actually, because of that, oh man, that's one mistake that Searson makes by just pushing all the way and not checking the kitchen. He thinks, well, that's it. So now 2 people are dead behind it. Is it going to be more? Santaris, he's got the right idea, but Jame will still take him down. Oh man, it keeps going. Jame picking up Tabson as well. One small oversight, and the whole round is gone.
Man, Jame, what did this guy do to have this kind of performance right now? 19-8 for Jame.
What a god.
He is battering big right now. This is sick. Top performer for Virtus.pro so far this tournament, without a doubt. But I mean, he is still putting out here in the upper bracket match.
It's absolutely incredible how much goes wrong because of Searson getting the early kill and just continuously going that way. Jame just calling it in, saying, Kinder is coming your way, just, you know, wait for him, and then now sneak into the B-bomb site. Yeah, I can understand the frustration. 14-5. Well, from an ace into losing to really nothing at all, that's pretty rough. That's a real roller coaster, isn't it? Going back down again now. 20th round, and I don't know.
I mean, I'm really admiring Virtus.pro. CT side, never the same setup. You couldn't predict anything of what they were going to do. And here on T side also, just not really giving it a default away. It's been a lot of quick play coming through here from Virtus.pro, not really letting their opponents have any time to adapt. Really liking this here, this approach from VP. It's giving them quite a bit of confidence. And you can see, yeah, exactly, the clear frustration from Big. And so Big now, I mean, they've kind of put Udoh back in the same spot. He'll be in shadow. Could have an aggressive hold here in the catwalk, catwalk connector. Oh, he turns away. Sanji would have seen the gun barrel, but he turns away right as that happens. And then not going to get away, though. Kinder catches Taps as he tries to fade through the smoke. Not this time, Ninja.
Going to go straight for the jump over into the window, and not quite going to go through the smoke yet, just waiting for it to fade. He's not sure if someone's on the other side, but him just being here is an incredible position on the map to have anytime you're on the T side. Zizian looking for it, but he's still going to go down. Searson in the middle also checking it from the other side, and that is a very, very important kill to go and return. And watching Kinder play is just always fun, isn't it? He is very, very...
He can be so aggressive
He's
everywhere.
very aggressive. It's a very dynamic player. I know he's very humble in some of these interviews we've been having with him, where he's been saying, like, yeah, but I've been brought up under, you know, like Jame, and like you're trying to give the credit on, but you can clearly tell that he's making a lot of decisions on his own, and they're very smart decisions. Like, he's an intelligent player. 3 versus 3, 30 seconds left. The bomb is here, so I mean, I don't know if they want to run it back to the B-bomb site. If they win this fight now against Udoh, if they make up for it again, then VP are going to be on map point.
They have full nades. They're just not leaving themselves much time to use them at all. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds! We're down to 15 seconds here, Virtus.pro. There we go. Molly on Udoh. Checking his favorite spot. He's going to be out in the open. He is gone, and now you just got to stick the bomb plant. You no longer have any time at all. Zantara's going to take the duel with Jame, and he could be in a position to deny the bomb plant. Unfortunately for him, yeah, exactly. He didn't spot it. 2-on-2 retake now.
That would have been the round right then and there. Oh, I mean, I think this is also where you get a sense that Big are really rattled here. Like, they're so frustrated about what's going on that some small mistakes are sort of slipping through. Now let's just see. 2-on-2. They're going to tap the bomb a single time. They don't have a kit picked up right now. Kick is getting the 1 kill, and Santaris, I don't know what you want to do here. A 10-second defuse out in the middle of the bomb site. Buster's wrapped all the way around, and he still picks it up, and he's going to be right back on it, but doesn't have the time, so he's going to have to pick up the AWP and run. Oh, no. It's 15 rounds for Virtus.pro. Wow.
Couldn't ask for it.
Amazing, isn't it?
And it's crazy that Xantares just annihilates and hits that shot. Let's see here. This is, yeah, good stuff. I mean, just really just the finest of margins.
What a game.
Yeah. What a game, but that's map point now for Virtus.pro. 15-5. Force Buy has to come through here from Big, everything they've got, and it ain't pretty. They've got the AWP that they saved, and 2 rifles, 2 deagles, handful of nades, all they can work with, whereas VP are fully bought up, and the aggression coming through. James not going to be able to spot the first one. He's got to be careful here. Needs his teammates to help him out. The focus is fantastic from Big. All of the pressure going into mid.
Yeah, definitely winning that fight. Still a 3-on-3. Searson out in the open, trying to take that fight. They weren't expecting it. He can't get the flick, but Udoh will get the follow-up. So Buster is going to be in a 1 versus 2. A lot of chaos in that one. And I've got to say as well, James and whoever was behind him there with the AK, they were, I don't mind that they're fighting middle, but that was so wild. They were just jumping into that fight.
I think they got a little bit, maybe just a little bit off timing there. A little awkward.
Let's see what Buster could do. He's waiting for them to make a mistake. It's pretty reasonable. He's got a minute, so...
To be fair, now Big should just buddy up. Is Tijan hoping he can find a gun somewhere? No, he's going to rotate back over towards B.
But they've already... They don't know where Buster is anymore, right? So
they have no idea. That's why I'm saying they should buddy up. Because then at least if he plants A, cool, you're already together. If he plants B, you retake together. But you put yourselves in a position to trade at all times. Here now... It's luck almost, because you could have a duel that Buster wins and it's a 1v1, right?
Imagine if Buster just Molotov that corner. That would be the real deal, wouldn't it? But so far he's trying to focus on not making any noise, and all he needs to do is find someone. Make it a 1-on-1. He's down to 24 seconds. And Tizian is miles away. So I mean, they can hear any bomb plant right now, right? They can make a quick rotation. They again don't have a kit, so yeah, now he's already started a step. And he's going to be trying to sneak closer here. Tizian, it's not a bad idea. He's going to be walking up right behind him, and that is an easy kill. So, a 6th round on the board, and they're going to be finding whatever they can on the ground here. But yeah, they managed to win it.
Yeah,
I've got to say, the way that they took that fight VP at the top, I think that was premature sort of like celebration. They were
just
like,
felt a bit janky. Yeah, exactly. They weren't quite dialed in there. Spacing was definitely not right to deal with the aggression, and so they got punished. Now we get to see here what they're going to be capable of. KiNK could drop an AWP if they wanted to, if they want to go into this on the side of VP, or VP could just go for a half buy here. Just a half buy, get some deagles, get a little Kevlar, you know, be a threat to Big, but make sure that you have a real strong buy going into the next one. It's looking like that's what's going to happen. We even have the hero AK getting thrown in here, the Russian AK from KiNK, so we'll see if he can get anything out of it.
Why not? I mean, they almost won it the last time they had it on Buster, I think. So just go for it one more time. It's going to be fast towards the B bomb site, waiting for that Molotov to go away, and then they're going to be putting out whatever they can. That one, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, they might just try and... Oh, no. That's meant to go in front of the other smoke to create a little bit of a gap. Instead, Tizian is there just taking them down left and right. That's everything they could have wanted.
Yeah, disaster. And VP now, they're backing off. Like, what are you really going to do here? You have a single flash grenade.
There are some slightly positive signs. If you look at Tizian and Searson, they're both playing pretty damn well at the moment. The rest of the team have been lagging really far behind. But again, this is just giving Big an opportunity to mentally get into it. Vertigo would be the second map. You don't want to crash out of a map like this where James and KiNK are just just wrecking you all over the place. And then just say, oh, well, that was 20 minutes, of Counter-Strike gone. Now we have to play the second map, and we're not even really mentally focused. So I think that's the one thing that's sort of a positive sign. I don't think Big are going to be making it into overtime from here, but I would love to be wrong. I sometimes am.
Sometimes. Seriously. There we go. Nicely done here from Big. 7th round on the board for them. Still map point for VP. And now we're going to get the buy round coming in here from Virtus.pro. They wish that they had actually got that bomb planted, because then they would have the money for, well, whatever they wanted. Now it's not going to be an AWP in play here for James.
Well, let's see what they throw at us. So many different ways to approach this, especially when you got this kind of a lead. You can throw in sort of what they're doing now, just some default A, just see what happens. Do they have the right defense for it? Waiting right here. they should be going pretty quickly. Because that smoke that they have over in the middle, that's a T smoke. When that fades, if anyone from Big is looking, they're going to know one is middle. So yeah, they're going to go right here. That's some pretty good timing, I think. Udoh trying to put that out with a smoke of his own, and here they come. Good flashbang to avoid the AWP shot there. Tabson goes straight down. That's a nice entry for KiNK, and the Molotov trying to stop C.R.A.E from getting through, but he somehow does and takes him down through the box as well. That is going to be an interesting shot. Now 4-on-4, and C.R.A.E gets completely trucked.
Trucked is right. Sick shot there from Udoh, though. Well done holding the line. It's a 3-on-3 retake scenario now as the bomb gets planted. And while there's the flank coming in from Tejada, he is going to be the man of the hour. They have no way of knowing that he's back here. It's going to have to come down to experience. And there was a check from James. He looked for it, James, and he loses. He still loses a teammate. Yakinder goes down. 2 players survive, but James is going to get traded 1-for-1. Now it's all on Sanji. 1v2. Bomb planted for him. Needs to catch out Zantares, and it's just not going to happen. Cool. I want to see Udoh's shot. Or C.R.A.E.'s shot, rather. What was that?
Yeah, I think he just hit him like through the edge of the box or something, but yeah, some good good opening also coming out. Udoh, that actually saved them quite a bit.
Let's see. Get out of here!
Whoop. He is dead. That's a nice
No
shot.
way. Is that... What the hell? He just flicked and...
Exploded his
magic.
head, didn't he? That is cool. That's good. I mean, again, those are some good signs. You want to see C.R.A.E at this level because James is absolutely at that level. So, you know, someone's going to have to find a way to match him. 15-8 now. And even with the bomb plant there, not quite going to have enough cash to go for the buy. The round loss one is not built up to that level yet. But soon that'll be, you know, part of the problem as well that Big have to deal with is that every bomb plant will be another buy round straight out of VP. So we'll see. And that's also a bit of a contrast, right? We talked about how few bomb plants VP actually got when they were on the T side. VP are making all of these rounds quite competitive, even if they're losing some of them here. Inside of the bomb. Oh, they're so close up. But this is actually super dangerous, even with not that many guns. Now that Sanji's picked up that kill, they're in a lot of trouble here. Tabson, that double spray down is massive. And it's the bomb. If Tabson goes down, they're going to get wrapped on from middle as well, and it'll be a disaster. It's still his Sanji! He's sniping them away with a deagle. Oh, no! Out of all the ways that this could have gone south, if they lose to Sanji's deagle, that would be just too upsetting. Deep nade there. He's now snuck into the corner, and yeah, he's going to get shot in the back. They managed to bring it back. Tabson with a quad kill, but, I mean, again, they just... This is what makes you think that Big aren't going to be bringing this back into overtime, is that all of these rounds, they're just almost losing.
They're so close, but hey, they're almost losing, but they're still managing to stabilize in the end. Sanji, though, just doing work with the Deeg.
He hardly even moved from that position. He was just
taking pot shots. Yeah, exactly. Just taking pot shots here and there. So a little bit of frustration there getting shown. Sanji shouldn't get too down on himself, though. I mean, they are still finding the kills across the board. No weak link in the VP roster right now. Thing is, as you pointed out, though, this is allowing for Big to actually get some of that confidence back and start getting some kills of their own. So going into Vertigo, which is the next map in the series, Big are going to be warmed up. Had they gotten just obliterated right out the gates here, could have been a different story. But now, Big, they're working their way back into this one. James, one of those guys like Twist, who just plays with the monitor 10 centimeters from his face. I don't know how you don't get motion sickness when it's that close. Like, I've tried, and I just can't do it, Anders. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I don't know.
It freaks me out.
It's got to be something with your eyes as well. Like, how do they not hurt after a while if you're just sticking them in there? But fair enough. I guess, can't really argue with the result, can I? I would sacrifice my eyes if I could play as fast as James is with the AWP. I'd be happy to do it. Oh, bit of a failed run boost. They're also run boosting with an AK, which I guess you can do that. Assassin, do you want to stick around? Taking a little bit of damage there. He's not afraid to take that fight at all, so he's still hanging around here. Could have been almost for a little bit too long. Sanji nearly could have caught him there. Molotov will certainly force him further back. But they're going to collapse on this A-bomb side. They got the right idea. If they can smoke off jungle, then this A-bomb side, I think, will fall. This defense is not that good right now. Yeah, they're going to get absolutely wrecked. Yakinda, double entry, and the smoke up towards jungle, just like we were talking about. That is so good. Now, he does go down for the smoke, and that is a little bit of a weird turn of events. Don't think anyone could have seen that coming. But now the bomb is down. It's a 4-on-3 retake, and it will not be easy either for Big. They have one smoke that they need to put on that bomb. The bomb is way out in the open, and there's a Molotov on James, so they have to keep that smoke alive on Tabson for the bomb.
2 players alive on this A side for now, and because of Tizian's last flank, look at how protective VP are being of the flanks. James, luckily for him, is going to hit his first shot, and that's, well, okay, that's just brutal. James and Sanji, between the two of them, annihilate that retake on their own. But Virtus.pro were ready for the flank from Tizian this time. They're like, you pulled that on us once, Buster, but it's not happening again. We're going to make sure we're good and
That's
protected.
Fantastic. What a game out of VP. They came so well. That's so refreshing to see. Not warming up into it or anything, just smack in there and wrecking Big on Mirage. Second map, obviously, will be on Vertigo, and that's going to be coming up after the desk and after the break, so stay tuned.
It may have been Big's pick to kick things off here at Flashpoint 2, but Virtus.pro turn up in style. Try as they might, the Giants just couldn't reverse that dominant start from the C.R.A.E squad, and with that, slips through their fingers for VP to sweep up 16-9. And I think that's where we've got to start talking about this matchup from that first half, Christine. 13-2, no less, for Virtus.pro on that CT side. How were they allowed to pull that off?
I'm still asking myself the same question. I've never seen Big actually getting slapped around in the fashion that they did on the T side of things. Usually, it is Big that's controlling the pace. Their default is usually so great. But this time, man, VP had their numbers. Xantares just getting owned, not finding any success either towards that palace, or you even saw him regrouping back up with his squad, sending Keto in there. They just couldn't find an answer. Tizian getting shut down towards that B tunnel. It just seemed like Big, all of their defaults every round, they just weren't finding the picks and nothing was connecting at the end of the rounds.
Yeah, I think that's something that's so surprising, considering this is Big as well. This is a team that we know come in fully prepared into their matches. They've got Dude and Toby and Tabson all working together to strategize. So where did you see the key holes from Big in this one?
It felt like Virtus.pro just had their number in so many respects. I feel like there was a weak... When Big looked at this matchup, they thought that there would be a weak point, especially at that B bomb site, but really everybody from VP just played very well individually. And I think the fact that the economy was established so early on for VP meant that Sanji didn't have that MP9 at B. He actually had an AK for a lot of those rounds. And Sanji, if there's one thing I can praise this guy for, it is his first bullet accuracy. It is deadly. The deagle he brought in one of the later rounds there on the T side was just crazy. He's just ripping everybody's head off. So when you give him an AK as an anchor, that just bodes so well for the defense of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, second highest ADR in the server for Sanji there. He's definitely turned up when we needed him to, Christine.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to see Sanji busting heads, you know. I mean, usually he's the gun carrier. He's the sacrificial lamb. So, you know, VP are way ahead in the lead if you see Sanji busting out moves like that in the server.
Yeah, let's delve into a specific moment as well, because I know you guys were saying coming into this that you felt like it was going to be that B aggression coming from the side of Big on that T side. So what happened that didn't allow them to pull off what we anticipated?
Yeah, I believe I have a highlight that's going to showcase this, but what I love about Big's T side is usually the fact that they run these defaults that give them an opportunity to either go A or B depending on the picks. But look at VP's movements. Yakindar and James jumping out the window right off the bat, and Yakindar with that AUG just finding the pick. James knows that Tizian likes to be alone, applying that pressure towards B, and they make the initial proactive aggressive move, stop Big's default before it even starts happening. And look at this, just one by one falling apart on all different parts of the map, and that is kind of what makes Big's strengths on the T side. But VP, they didn't even let him get started.
Yeah, I actually love that setup. It's a kind of an alternation of what Furia were running recently on Mirage, but it's Yakinder loves throwing that little one-way smoke down there, but the fact that they added Jaime in Underpass gives him that support that he needs, because before it was Yakinder by himself, but I think now VP is recognizing we need to actually support our star player.
And now switching over onto the T side of life for Virtus.pro, there was one final moment that you branded as the nail in the coffin for Big in this one. What exactly is it, Maui?
Yeah, this was Virtus.pro just finding a hole in a round that they had really no business winning. Surson, he gets this kill towards Underpass, but he pushes a little bit farther than he probably should have, and Yakinder is able to take him down. And during that time, James was actually really advanced in the B apartments, able to get a kill there on the rotator, and then he's able to close it out with some nice kills once he picks up the A1S. I don't know how Tabson doesn't get this kill, I'm going to be honest, but James is able to close it out regardless, and at this point, Virtus.pro was just breathing down their necks for the rest of the game. And something I love about VP when they got into that second half is they gave themselves a win condition in every single round. There were no throwaway rounds. They didn't ever just go full Glock just everywhere. They always had either a gun or some deagles. They always had some kind of little plan or some spread out way that just tricked Big at the end of the day.
I think something else that we noticed as well coming into this one, we heard it from Keto earlier when Monty was chatting with him, I believe Icewitch is Searson about it after the MIBR matchup as well. They felt like their comms were a little bit cluttered, and I feel like at the beginning of the game, we could really notice that, obviously, listening into them. Not something you particularly expect from this Big side, just looking at their form recently.
Yeah, it's definitely surprising, right? But if there's one thing that's fantastic about Big, especially with Toby behind them as a coach, is the mental fortitude on this team. It is high. It is up there. So even though, as I said, they got slapped around on their own pick of Mirage, they should be fine. They should be fine. These guys are mature. They know that this is a 3-map series. They're in it for the long haul. It's like a marathon. So I'm not too worried about Big's comms. I think that's something that they already hashed out when Xantares initially joined the squad and switching to English and everything. They've been practicing it all of 2020. So moving on to this Vertigo, even though this is a huge curveball coming out from BP, this is a map that Big have been playing through and through in Flashpoint 2 almost every one of their series. So I think they're ready for it.
Well, speaking of that Vertigo, I believe we've got Yumi on the line to see exactly what we should be expecting of VP coming into the second map.
Yeah, so we had VP against Genji earlier on in the tournament, and I thought it was quite interesting just to see when VP are ahead, when they're confident, like we saw them coming out of Mirage, just how just cataclysmic they can be and how individually focused they can be as well. You're seeing a lot of space created here for Buster, and you're actually going to see an aggressive style default from VP throughout this round. You'll get Sanji sort of progressing through middle by himself, Yakindar, of course, just working that A ramp area, and Buster gets a kill over towards the B site. I think it's just an example of how VP, when they are firing on all cylinders, when they actually get all of the contributions from all their individual players, they can play this looser style that, I mean, sure, we get used to seeing executes on the A site and the sort, but every now and again, you just need to frag out. And I think VP are definitely bringing that one to the table. Back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Yumi. And it was an interesting point that you brought up earlier, Christine, just looking at the past results for both of these teams on this particular map. They're kind of skewed in the opposite direction for both of them.
It is really weird to see, but I get why VP are so confident on this map. It's Yakindar. Maui's boy, Yakindar. He seems to have that edge towards that sandbag at A. A lot of players, they don't like that position. You get HE grenaded, you get Molotov. The amount of pressure that the T's apply to that one specific area, it can be really clenchy, but Yakindar, he's got the moves, he's got the timings, so he's got that finesse that allows him to get away with some crazy shit over towards that sandbag. And Xantares, again, all the way the opposite. Although he's the A player, he usually doesn't hang around that sandbag. He's usually towards the short A, and this is a complete deathmatch scenario for both of these players, and it just plays to both of their strengths. So I don't know what the heck to expect for this Vertigo, but I just know there's going to be some crazy frags going down towards that A ramp.
Well, before we jump into it, I believe we've got Tabson with a few motivational words for his boys before we head into the second map.
To get frustrated. It doesn't matter what the score is. Remember our CT side, you can easily do 9-6 or 8-7. It's still a very good half. Doesn't matter how the game starts. We just need to wake up, just forget the rounds, what happened, and just look further.
Exactly what we need from the side of Big. And I'm wondering from your perspective, Maui, if we're looking at the Big clan coming into a map that wasn't their pick in this series, where are the key players that you're going to be focusing on?
I'm going to be focusing a lot on Surson. I'm going to be focusing a lot on Xantares. They will be working in tandem towards that A bomb site, kind of like Christine was alluding to earlier. And I feel like that is so important that they need to play well and they need to have their head in the right space. Thankfully, Tabson actually showed that he is actually a mental leader along with a tactical leader. You know that you can actually reset from round to round, that it's not just one string of a game. You actually can easily, when you have a leader like that, reset mentally, and that's exactly what Surson, Xantares need to do, because Yakindar, he's going to be breathing down their necks once again. It's good. I can't wait for the firefights we're going to see over there, because they are just going to be explosive. All the high fraggers, all in the same position, all on that A ramp.
Well, the sun may be shining for Virtus.pro so far in this series, but can Big put a dampener on their day? We're going to be finding out as we're heading